Hi guys, welcome to another episode. So this episode is called What Does Intuitive Eating Even Mean? I'm sure you've heard the words around social media, it's been around for quite a while now, but what is intuitive eating? What can it do for you and why should you do it? So first of all, intuitive eating is completely opposite to dieting. So whereas diets have rigid rules, whether you're following an actual plan that says eat this at this time, or whether you're following diet guidelines where you're not allowed to, you can eat anything you want as long as it's within this good food or bad food list, that's food rules. Whereas intuitive eating has absolutely no rules whatsoever, which can be scary as hell and exciting at the same time because you have no rules or even guidelines. All you do is you just eat what you want whenever you want and stop eating when you're satisfied. So you eat when you're hungry, what feels good to eat right now, I really fancy this, and you'll go and have that, enjoy it, and then stop when you've had enough. So in simple terms, that's what intuitive eating is. So we all know by now that diets do not work long term. So you've got a choice, okay? So if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you're in the binge restrict cycle, or you're struggling around food and your body image on a day-to-day basis that's negatively affecting your life. So you're in the right place because I can help you. But diets do not work. So if you have a choice, whether you want to be on a diet for the rest of your life, and for you and most 95% of other people in the whole world, that dieting for your whole life doesn't just mean dieting, it means binge eating, feeling shit about yourself, feeling guilt around food, up and down, yo-yoing, never just being truly happy, free and healthy. So you can have a choice to continue doing that, to try and desperately keep yourself or get yourself to a certain body size, or you can choose to be like, fuck the diet, I've had enough, what can I do? But I also want to be healthy, right? So what can you do? So this is where I'm here to help. So diets don't work. We know that. There's loads of studies about that. You do have people contradicting me. That's fine. That's cool. That's amazing. The world is different and full of different people with different opinions. This is from my experiences, what I believe, and that of my clients that get amazing transformations. So what is your intuition? So your intuition is your body's infinite wisdom, and that is not just about food. Intuition, that's where the word intuitive eating comes from. You eat what you feel like eating, you let your body, your intuition guide you what to eat. Intuition is the same thing as if you meet a person and you just have a bad feeling about them, that's your intuition speaking to you. Or if you have a good feeling about them, or if you know that you've met someone and you feel like you've known them forever, like that's a good feeling, that's your feeling, that's not based on science or facts, it's just a feeling, and everyone has their own intuition which guides you through life if you listen, because a lot of people don't listen to their intuition, but your intuition is there to guide you for the best path in life, what is best for you, because everyone is different. So the good thing about intuition and listening to yourself and listening to your body is your body naturally wants to be healthy, whereas our minds are negativity bias, and I've spoke about this before, but that goes back to the caveman days where we have to be looking for danger or a problem all the time because it's crucial to our survival to actually stay alive. So if you press a reset button on everybody, their brains is automatically negative, and it's difficult to work with your brain to train yourself to think positively, but you can do it, and that's an episode for another time, but it's obviously completely doable, and the more you do that, you train your brain to be positivity biased. But the reason I mentioned that was because your body, on the other hand, naturally wants you to be healthy, and it wants you to be healthy for you. And this is where I can't emphasize enough, guys. Whereas the paleo diet is meant to be the best scientifically backed research, food, whatever, okay, on one hand. You've got the second scientifically famous person saying that a vegetarian and vegan diet full of whole grains and legumes is the healthiest diet ever, and they can completely contradict each other. And the thing is, it can be healthy for some people and not for others. So the best nutritionist in the world to listen to is your body. Like, taking myself as an example against my boyfriend, I can eat almost anything completely with no effects whatsoever, whereas my boyfriend eats a lot of carbohydrates and he feels really shit and tired, whereas I'm completely fine. So, you know, that's just two different people having completely two different results on the same food. So I just want to emphasize that to you, that your body wants you to be healthy in a way that's right for you, which you should never compare yourself to others. So that being said, when we learn to get out of our own way mentally with our diet mentality and what we should and shouldn't eat, or what we think is good food or bad food, or all this diet shit and this inner bitch dieting voice that's going on at you, once we learn to address those, which is the number one thing that we need to do whilst learning how to eat intuitively, your body will naturally make healthy choices for you. And when I say healthy choices, I mean what feels good for you, because sometimes you'll want a salad, sometimes you'll want a burger. I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a moment, but your body wants to be healthy, bottom line. So don't just have so much distrust towards your body that your body's going to want this, this and this, and you're going to just eat forever and then just not be able to leave the house and be one of those people who have to get cut out of the house, because that's what I thought would happen to me when I started intuitive eating. But again, I'll talk about that in a moment. But so what are the reasons why we self-sabotage and eat shitloads of food? It comes back to this diet restrict circle. So let's say you're on one of your usual diets, whatever diet you're following. I'm guessing even if it's Slimming World, which I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say that out loud, but I just have. As far as diets go, that's probably I don't want to use the word best, because no diet is best, let me just make that clear. That's probably the most least restrictive on normal food, okay? But anyone that's listening to this probably even knows what you can eat. You have to weigh your dairy, weigh your milk or measure your milk, and then weigh your whole grains, and then you have sins, okay? So even when you've got free reign of eating pasta, potatoes, whatever, you've still got to be cautious. So let's take the world's, what I know, because I think I've done every single diet in the world, or almost, what I know to be the most least restrictive diet, Slimming World. Say if I'm going about my business and I'm shopping and I come across a brownie store, which used to happen every time in Derby when I lived in England, because I would accidentally on purpose go past it. Browning Points Bakery, it's amazing. And then I'd get there and then I'd be like trying to work out my sins. Oh, I wonder how many sins is in one brownie. Trying to go on MyFitnessPal, which was my best friend, trying to work out what I could trick myself into finding the lowest calorie brownie on MyFitnessPal, but that I could mentally be happy with it for using it for my sin value. Probably a lot of people are with me right now and know what I'm talking about. So in short, I couldn't have even one brownie on the amount of sins you're allowed per day. So the point of this story is, excuse me, not for me to cough, is you're on some kind of diet. Any diet is going to not let you have sugary foods, whatever, okay, because apparently sugar's the devil and all of this. So you're in this brownie store and then you figured out you can have like half a brownie to fit in with your sins, or you're not allowed to have any. So then you decide not to have any because it will ruin your diet, blah, 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 blah. And then later on, anyway, because you wanted that brownie and you've restricted yourself, you most likely 99% of the time end up binging anyway on something different to the brownie, when you still could just really just want a big fuck off brownie or two brownies. But you just rebelling against restriction, and then that's when the cycle comes, as you probably fully well know, that it's that restrictiveness that causes us to binge or overeat, because anything you restrict, whether you physically restrict or mentally restrict, that's another episode, I talk about mental restriction. Any form of restriction, physical or mental, will cause an overeating episode, because you're like saying screw you to the restriction and you're going overboard. Whereas if you'd just been in the brownie shop and been like, oh, I fancy 2 brownies, and then just got 2 brownies and then enjoyed 2 brownies and then just got on with your life, which is what I can do now, and it's a process to get there, but there's a massive difference. So let me talk about the intuitive eating guidelines, okay? So there's no rules ever. I mean, with my clients, I talk about intuitive eating as the number one thing we have to do to physically stop dieting, but we need to be careful it doesn't turn into another dieting mentality diet, like an intuitive eating diet, because the guidelines are, there's 3 guidelines. Number 1, eat when you're hungry. Number 2, eat whatever you want to eat. And number 3, there's 4 guidelines, I lied. Number 3, stop when you're satisfied. And number 4, feel your feelings. So let me just talk about why intuitive eating isn't the only thing you need to do to heal your relationship with food first. Because if you're following those guidelines, and let me emphasise the word guidelines, a lot of people listening or watching this will most likely be type A personalities, black or white thinkers, all or nothing type of people, and they like to turn the word guidelines into rules. So what I did on the intuitive eating diet, of course, is turn it into an intuitive eating diet. So I would, if I didn't only eat when I was hungry, then I've quote unquote failed. So then I would start intuitive eating again tomorrow. Or if I did eat till I was past satisfied, like if I was over full, then again I thought, oh, I'm so shit at this, I failed. And then it's just the same thing, just a different diet, and that's dieting mentality. So intuitive eating is a massive first step, but it's not everything. But it is really important to learn how to just see what your body wants to eat and just trust your body and go with that. So if you're hungry, this is again the guidelines. When I work with my clients, it's also okay if you're not even hungry to eat. We work on, there's a lot of digging to do, and then when you've done all these steps, food doesn't have any power over you whatsoever, and then you'll just literally be like, well, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, and probably not even think about food unless you're at a social event where someone's like, do you want a cookie? And you're like, fuck yes, I want a cookie, and then you just eat the cookie and get on with your life. Anyway, where was I? I was off on a tangent. Yes, so eat when you're hungry, eat whatever it is you want, and yes, that even includes quote unquote your trigger foods or your bad foods or unhealthy foods, whatever your body wants, you should honour her and eat the thing, okay, and then stop when you feel satisfied. So before I talk about the 4th guideline, which is feel your feelings, I just want to talk to you about a full allowance of all food. So this thing of being allowed to eat whatever you want and just listening to your body, what will most likely happen, and I'm going to do another episode fully on the stages of what you'll go through when you give up dieting, right, okay? But what will first happen is very most likely, which is again what happened to me, is you will think, oh my God, I've just been given a green light to go and eat whatever I want. Dieting mentality popping up, right? So then off you'll go, which is what I did. Off I'll go and be like, holy shit, I'm like allowed to eat as much chocolate as I want. So you actually don't eat intuitively to begin with, because you just get in excuse me, you are rebelling against all those years of restriction, and that is okay, and it is part of the process, and this is where you need to stay strong and trust the process and remind yourself that you're just not going to go back to restriction and dieting, because that keeps you in that cycle. So when you're eating what you want when you want, I ate chocolate every single day for about 2.5 weeks, like a lot of it, and then one day, I remembered, I was like, I feel like a green shake, and I was like absolutely shocked. And I was also pissed at myself at the same time, because I was craving a green shake, and that's annoying when there's Instagrammers shoving it in your face all smugly, like, oh, I'm so healthy, I'm having a green shake. Like, probably, I have quite a lot of green shakes now when I want them. And so I was like, oh my God. So then when I started to after the rebellion stage, when I started to really listen to my body and be like, oh, I feel like sweet potato, cheese and beans, or I really feel like fish. Like it's exciting because you get to know yourself again and your body tells you what you want. And let's talk about the fear of weight gain, which is the whole reason we start dieting in the whole first place. That is a root cause of everything to do with food problems, is the fear of weight gain and body image, right? You're not happy in your body and we're shit scared of gaining weight. So again, I keep saying this, but another episode to talk about that because there's too much to talk about in one go. We need to understand the fact that, again, coming back to the two choices, number one, do you want to diet and binge for your whole life? I'm guessing no, because it's shit. Number two, following people that have overcome what you're going through right now, aka me, my clients, loads of other amazing positive influencers and coaches out there, okay, it is proof that it works. So initially you might gain weight. I didn't weigh myself, but I did gain weight when I first started intuitive eating because of the diet rebellion stage, but I was not happy about it, but I just trusted the process, because don't forget, your body wants to be healthy, so you will naturally find your ideal healthy weight for you. Your body wants to be healthy, whatever that means for you, and let me emphasize that again. So, but I was so determined to heal this shit circle I was in and how I felt about myself that I would do whatever I trusted to work, and thank God I did, because yes, I ate chocolate weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I did put a bit of weight on, not as much as I ever thought. Again, I didn't weigh myself, so I didn't know, but you have images in your head of like literally ballooning up. I just put a bit of weight on. I knew I did because I felt it in my clothes and whatever, but I trusted the process. I worked so much on body image at the same time, my limiting beliefs, all loads of other stuff to work on at the same time, but it's totally worth it. And then when I started, my intuition started really coming through and I was really listening to her, like the emphasis of the green shake, etc. It doesn't matter about weight. I'm a weight neutral nutritionist, as I'm guess you've gathered by now, because it pisses me off when the whole world is scared of being fat, and fat's not even bad. But again, another tangent. Not that it mattered in the end, but my weight went down. My body size went down because I don't weigh myself, and it stabilised again. And so I went from putting weight on, diet rebellion stage, eating what I want when I want, gradually was going down, still eating what I want when I want, losing all the stress, guilt and anxiety around food, still eating what I want when I want, and then my weight just stabilised, and it is what it is. I eat exactly what I eat exactly what I want, when I want to, no guilt, no stress. Oh my God, it's so free, and my weight stabilised. That's not even an issue anyway, because I've done all the deeper body image work and self-love work, but I feel fit, and I know I'm fit, and I'm healthy, and it's amazing. So don't be scared of weight gain, but it can be, we're not definitely going to put on weight, but it can be part of the process initially. So that being said, let's talk about feeling your feelings. So feeling your feelings is as simple as it sounds. It's sitting and feeling what you're feeling. So if you're mid-binge, or this is more emotional eating, which can be slightly different to binge eating, but I'm talking about this in context of it being entwined together. So you're binge eating because of you're not emotionally addressing something, you're just using food to cover it up. Mid-binge, you just stop and be like, okay, and this is crucial, by the way, say to yourself, I'm going to go and feel my feelings, but I give myself 100% full permission to come back and finish this binge afterwards, because then there's no restriction there. So then take yourself away from the food, or knee deep in Ben and Jerry's or whatever you're doing, and then go and sit on the couch or whatever and just be like, okay, what am I feeling? What feeling am I avoiding by eating? And just see what comes up for you. And then, you might cry, you might get angry, you might think it's stupid, you might try and avoid your feeling, which is the whole reason you went to food in the first place in this stage. And then get your journal out, pen to paper. It helps a lot, and just write whatever you're feeling. And a lot of people don't want to do this work. I know I didn't when I first started this. I was like, oh, it's just whatever, it's not going to make a difference. It makes a difference. And if you're seriously about healing your relationship with food and your body, do it. And then after you've done felt your feelings, let yourself feel them and write about them. Then you can go back to eating whatever you was eating if you want to. If you don't choose to do that, that's fine. If you still choose to then go and continue, that's also totally fine, because the more you keep demonizing your binges as a bad thing because you desperately don't want them, again, you're on a try not to binge diet. It's the mentality. Once you shine a light on your binges, I mean, I don't even like to call them binges, I like to call them eating a lot of food, because it's just fact. Binges is like a bad word in and of itself. So once you just shine a light on the fact that I've just ate a lot of food, like, you know, hand on your heart, I love myself anyway, I wonder what triggered it, I wonder what caused it, have I been restricting somewhere, am I emotionally eating, what's going on? The once you just are like, well, it's not even bad, it is what it is, then it has less power over you, and over time it just stops by itself. And that's really powerful, guys. And I can help you. This is what I do all day, every day. I've been through it. I seriously know how you feel. I'm not even joking. I've been in the depths of despair, of binge eating and body dysmorphia. If you've not listened to my story or read my story, please do, if you're thinking about working with me. But I really can help you, seriously get rid of this diet binge cycle. Actually love yourself for who you are and be really confident in your body. Doesn't matter what jean size you are, it really is possible. So if you're ready to change, please either comment or share this, let me know, reach out to me somehow, and I would really love to help you. So that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will speak to you next time.